Good morning, students. So today we are going to start our fourth chapter. Fourth chapter is carbon and its compounds. So in the very beginning we are going to study about what is a covalent bond and how allotropy exists in carbon. Okay, so these two things we are going to discuss today. Now first of all, let us study about carbon, where all it is present. So just an introduction. Okay, now see, if we see so many things around us like food, clothes, medicines, books, or so many things, whatever is we are able to see around, they all things are based on an element which is called carbon. It means that carbon is present in almost everything whichever we are able to see around us. Okay, now one more thing, see, all living structures, they all contain carbon. Okay, so you can see so many at so many places carbon is present. Okay, now if you see what is the percentage present of carbon, then amount of carbon present in Earth's crust and in the atmosphere is quite meager, means very less, is quite less. Earth's crust contains only 0.02% carbon, that also in the form of minerals, just like carbonates. Carbonates, you know, CO3 2 negative, so C is there. Hydrogen carbonates means HCO3 1 negative. Coal, petroleum, these all things contain carbon, and these all things are found in earth crust. Similarly, in atmosphere there is just 0.03% of carbon dioxide. Okay, so this is present in so less amount, but still, in spite of this small amount, the importance of carbon seems to be immense because it is found everywhere. Whichever way we will see, we will find carbon. Okay, now which type of bonding exists in carbon? There is presence of carbon bond, means covalent bond, in compounds containing carbon. Okay, now see, if we see carbon, its atomic number is 6, so its electronic configuration is 2 4. Okay, so there are 4 electrons in the outermost shell. So as we know that every atom has tendency to gain noble gas configuration, because whenever it does so, then it becomes more stable. Okay, now this can be done either by gain of electrons or by loss of electron. Okay, now see, suppose it gains 4 electrons, then it will form C4 negative ion. Okay, but if we see its structure, then its nucleus is very small, and for holding for holding 10 electrons around itself, around the nucleus, that becomes very much difficult. Okay, if we are saying that carbon gains 4 electrons, then it means it is having 10 electrons now. Okay, so its nucleus cannot keep all those 10 electrons together. It will be very difficult for it. So it means that C4 negative ion formation is very difficult. Similarly, if we see about loss of electron, then if it loses 4 electrons, then it will form C4 positive. Why we are saying that if it loses? Because if it loses 4 electrons, then again it becomes near noble gas configuration, helium. Okay, so if that happens, then C4 positive cation will be formed, but we know that whenever we remove certain electron from an atom, it needs energy. Okay, now if it happens, if there is formation of C4 positive, then there will be 6 protons in the nucleus and just 2 electrons will be there outside it. So that again will be a unstable situation. Okay, so it means formation of C4 negative or C4 positive is difficult. So what happens? Carbon overcomes this problem by sharing its valence electrons with other atoms. Okay, the other atom may be carbon or any other element also. Okay, now So many molecules does this, where loss of electron or gain of electron is not easy. Those elements, what they do, they share electrons. Okay, the shared electrons belong to the outermost shell of the both atoms. Okay, and by doing so they acquire noble gas configuration. Okay, now what is covalent bond? Covalent bond is the mutual sharing of electrons between the two atoms. Okay, so covalent bond is mutual sharing of electrons between the two atoms. Now, suppose there is 1, 2 or 3 electron pairs. When we are saying sharing, then it means, see, this is one atom, this is another atom. This electron, this atom is having this electron, another atom is having this electron. Now they are sharing, so it can be shown like this. This way it can be shown. Now see, there is one electron of both the atoms, but the shared pair is 1. One pair means 2 electrons. So if there is one shared pair or 2 shared pairs or 3 shared pairs, then we will say it is single bond, double bond or triple bond, and we will represent it like this: single bond, double bond, triple bond. Okay, so this way we write the covalent bonds. Now let us consider the case of hydrogen. Now we know atomic number of hydrogen is 1. Okay, so that electron exists in K shell. Okay, now it requires one more electron to fill the K shell. So two hydrogen atoms share their electrons to form a molecule of hydrogen, and molecule of hydrogen is written as H2. Okay, this allows each hydrogen atom to attain the electronic configuration of nearest noble gas. And what is the nearest noble gas? Helium. Okay, so how we will do it? The shared pair of electrons is said to constitute a single covalent bond between the two hydrogen atoms. Okay, now how we will represent this? First of all, we will write this way. What it represents? Two hydrogen atoms. Okay, and they are containing one electron. We are showing our electron with the help of cross. Now in the second step, they will come together and they will share electron. Okay, now what happened? There is one pair. This thing is one pair which is being shared between the two. Okay, now because of this one pair, we will write one covalent bond like this. Okay, so this way we will represent hydrogen molecule. So you have to remember that here we have to show Lewis structures. Lewis. Lewis structures means symbol of element along with its valence electrons as dots or cross. Okay, now let us take second example. If we talk about oxygen, okay, then there is formation of a double bond. Okay, and it is between the two oxygen atoms. Okay, now oxygen has 6 electrons in its L shell. Its atomic number is 8, so its electronic configuration is 2 6. So this is K shell, this is L shell, so there are 6 electrons in its L shell. Okay, now if it gains 2 electrons somehow, then it will become 8, and 8 means it is nearest noble gas configuration. If it is 8, then it means total electrons will be 10. 8 plus 2, 10. It means total electrons are 10, and 10 is the electronic configuration for neon. Okay, so that will again acquire noble gas configuration. Now how it is possible? What happens? The 2 electrons contributed by each oxygen atom give rise to 2 shared pairs of electrons. Okay, now see, let us check how we can write it. We have written first of all 2 oxygen atoms. These are 2 oxygen atoms. In each oxygen atom there are 6 electrons. Okay, now those 2 electrons of each oxygen atom get shared. Now total number of shared pairs are 2, so we are representing it by double bond. Okay, so this is how we represent our oxygen atom. Okay, so double bond is also possible, so that total valence electrons become 8, and which is nearest noble gas configuration. Okay, now let us check how this bonding exists in case of nitrogen and in case of methane. CH4 is the formula of methane. Okay, now see, in case of nitrogen, atomic number is 7. 7 means it will be 2, 5. So there are 5 valence electrons in case of nitrogen. So we will represent nitrogen atoms like this. These are 2 nitrogen atoms which are written separately in the Lewis representation form. Now, when these 2 atoms come closer, what happens? They are going to share 3 electrons each. 3 electrons means there are 3 electron pairs which are shared. 3 electron pairs are shared means triple bond we have to write. Okay, so there is existence of triple bond in case of nitrogen. Now see, when we say this, then what happens? When 3 electrons are being shared, then for this nitrogen there are 8 electrons total, 6 these shared and 2 here. Similarly, for this atom also there are total 8 electrons. How? 6 plus 2, 8. So it means they both have acquired their noble gas configuration. Now if we talk about methane, now there is 1 carbon atom at the center and 4 hydrogen atoms which are called surrounding atoms. Now if we see the valential electronic configuration, then in case of carbon we will write like this. Okay, this way we will write, and for hydrogen we will write like this. Okay, now when 4 hydrogen atoms will combine with 1 carbon atom, then what will happen? Then this way it will be formed. Okay, now see, there are 8 electrons around the carbon, and for hydrogen, when it is going to share 1 electron with 1 electron of carbon, then its octet is also complete. There are 2 electrons around hydrogen, so it is also acquiring nearest noble gas configuration, and for carbon also it has acquired nearest noble gas configuration. Okay, so how we will represent it in the term of bonds? This is carbon, single bond, single bond, single bond, single bond, and these are hydrogens. Okay, so this way we are going to represent it. Okay, now covalently bonded molecules are seen to have strong bonds within the molecule, but intermolecular forces are weak. This gives rise to the low melting and boiling points of these compounds. Okay, now see, here one all thing which you have to remember is, whenever there is formation of covalent bond, then that bond is strong enough. Now just if we see about methane, then there are 4 bonds between carbon and hydrogen. So these 4 bonds are covalent bonds, and they are strong enough to keep those all atoms together and form a molecule. Okay, but intermolecular forces are weak. What does it mean? It means that if this is one molecule of methane, this is another molecule of methane, then the intermolecular forces of attraction between these 2 molecules, they are weak. Okay, now because of these weak intermolecular forces, they have low melting and boiling point values. Okay, now since the electrons are shared between atoms and no charged particles are formed, now see here what is happening. Here there is just formation of covalent bonds. So in case of covalent bond, there is no sharing of there is just sharing of electrons, and there is no development of charge. So because of no development of charge, there are no electrostatic forces of attraction. So because of this, what happens? They have low melting and boiling points. Okay, now because of known ion formation, they are also poor conductors of electricity, because for conduction also they require movement of charges or movement of ions. Okay, so they are also poor conductor of electricity. Now let us come to allotropes of carbon. Now what do we mean by allotropes? When an element exists in two or more forms which have similar chemical properties but different physical properties, then all such forms are called allotropic forms, and this phenomenon is called allotropy. Okay, now see, let us take one example of carbon. Carbon exists as graphite also, diamond also, or as fullerenes also. So what we will say? We will say graphite, diamond and fullerene are allotropic forms of carbon. And this process, this phenomena, this will be termed as allotropy. Okay. Now in case of diamond, each carbon atom is bonded to 4 other carbon atoms, forming a rigid 3-dimensional structure. Okay. In case of graphite, if you will see, each carbon atom is bonded to 3 other carbon atoms in the same plane, giving rise to hexagonal arrangement. So how they look like? In case of diamond, there is rigid 3-dimensional structure, but in case of graphite there are hexagonal arrangements. Okay, so let us discuss these two now. Okay, now if you can see here, this is the structure of diamond. Okay, this is diamond, and this is the structure of graphite. Okay, which we use in the form of pencil. Okay, so what we will see, that in case of diamond, if you see, let us take this carbon. If we take this carbon, then this carbon is bonded to 4 other carbon atoms, and if you will see their geometry, it will be tetrahedral geometry. Now what is tetrahedral geometry? Let us see. If this is one carbon, then 4 other carbon atoms will also be there. Okay, 4 other carbon atoms will also be there, and they will be arranged in the form of tetrahedral form. This shape is called tetrahedral geometry. Here all the bond angles are 109 degree 28 minutes. Okay, this you will discuss in detail in 11th class, but this way they are arranged. So what we will say? We will say that in case of diamond, in case it is difficult to draw, then what you can say? You can draw in simple form also. This way. Okay, this way. Now here, what is this? This represents one carbon. This is another carbon. This is another carbon. This is another carbon. This is another carbon. Each carbon is bonded to 4 other carbon atoms. Now you have arrived here. You can draw it like this. Okay, now if you have arrived here, you can draw it like this. Okay, so this way also you can draw, but if you are drawing like this, then you have to mention that each carbon is bonded in this way. This is necessary to be mentioned. This way you have to mention. Okay, then this is also applicable. Okay, now in case of graphite, this way we have to draw it. Okay, here what we are able to see, this carbon is bonded to 3 other carbon atoms. Okay, so basic difference is, here each carbon is bonded to 4, here each carbon is bonded to 3 other carbon atoms, and this is the structure of graphite. Okay, now these two different structures result in diamond and graphite having very different physical properties, even though their chemical properties are same. So one very important thing in case of this is that allotropic forms have different physical properties but similar chemical properties. Just like diamond is very hard, graphite is brittle. So this is physical property, but chemical properties, they will be same. Okay, now graphite is also a very good conductor of electricity, and diamond is the hardest substance. Graphite is smooth and slippery. Okay, so these things come because of their structure. Now let us discuss third form. This is allotropic form of carbon and is known as fullerene. Okay, now very first fullerene which was identified as C60. C60 means there are 60 carbon atoms bonded with each other. Now they are so bonded that they give the shape of football, and this structure is also known as Buckminster Fullerene, or we say it is buckyball. We say this is buckyball. Okay, this is also one of the name given to this type of structure. Okay, now why this name is given? Because the this is its shape. Its shape is like a dome, which was designed by an architect called Buckminster Fuller. Okay, this structure is of the shape of this particular dome, so it is also named as Fullerene. Okay, so here what is to be remembered? Here we have to just remember that 60 atoms of carbon are bonded with each other in such a manner that there is development of three-dimensional structure which looks like ball. Okay, now whatever we have done today, on the basis of that you have to solve these home assignments. Okay, thank you.